Hi everyone, this is KK Downing of Judas Priest.
This is Glenn Tipton from Judas Priest.
Hello, metalheads of America. This is Rob Halford of Judas Priest. And for the next half hour, you'd better keep your radio tuned right here, because you're going to be defending the faith with KK, Glenn, Ian, Dave, and myself as we take you on the road with us.
Glenn here. We're looking forward to this tour, and I can guarantee to everyone out there it's going to be the most, I think, sensational thing they've seen Priest certainly do. We've got a great stage set. It's like nothing we've ever done before. Metal, it really comes to life on stage. We're an album and a live band, and we take a lot of trouble with our albums, and a real lot of time and effort. But really, I think I can safely say that we all really enjoy that moment when we walk on stage, when anything can happen at a Priest concert. You know, we just explode, we just go berserk, but our music never suffers. It's all high energy impact, and we feel good, the audience feels good, and I can safely say I don't think anybody can walk away from a Judas Priest concert, including ourselves, without being thoroughly satisfied and expended. We've always felt that we fly the flag for metal, and that we defend ourselves and all the fans really against the media who tend to put metal down. We've defended the metal faith very well, I think, for 10 years.
It's KK again. During the writing of this album, we obviously were aware that time was moving on, and that we wanted to move on as well as a band, individuals, songwriters, and in every way, shape and form as well. I don't think anybody in the band really believes that Judas Priest has reached its ultimate goal yet, so we try to widen the area of heavy metal, to do in our lifetime, in this year, in modern day, what sort of Hendrix did for progressive blues in the early days, really expanded it. Maybe Judas Priest will develop into a new area, maybe it can be a turbo metal or heavy deco metal, whatever the new term might be, but we really try and broaden the scope of music on the fringes just as much as we can.
What all we try and do with each set is try and combine as best we can all the classic cuts that are the favourites from all of the Judas Priest songs, and try and have a sort of a history of the band incorporated within the set. So we take stuff right from the Sad Wings of Destiny album up to the present. The name for the album Turbo came about we were in Marbella in Spain, myself, Ken and Glenn, writing material for the album, and Glenn and Ken were messing about with the new guitar synthesizers that are featured quite heavily on the new Turbo album, and Glenn was messing about with this one particular sound which actually starts off the whole Turbo album, and I just happened to say that it was reminiscent of like a fast sports car or something of that nature, like a sports motorbike or whatever, and Turbo was just something that immediately sprung to mind, and I took that away and developed the lyrics to the song, and it just seemed to stick. We felt that it was a modern title. We'd had our Screaming for Vengeance, we'd had our Defenders of the Faith. I mean, now we felt it was time to come forward with a title that was really apt for 1986 and where the band was in our career and everything. Turbo, just, to me, it's a great word. It encapsulates power and style and sleekness and swiftness and all of those different qualities which we feel are contained within the songs of the album. Whenever we set out for any major world tour, we set ourselves one target, and that's to give as best of ourselves every single night with a big spectacular show, which people are more inclined to expect from Priest these days. So we've worked together with the same people that put together the Defenders tour and the Screaming for Vengeance tour, and we have a stage this time which has a bit of the Transformer element to it. We put out every ounce of energy that we possibly can, and should I say we expect that back from our audience? Yes, we do, you. We love it when you give it back to us, because that's what keeps this band going like we do. I mean, it's wonderful that you buy our records and come and see us in show, but there's nothing greater for us than to have you screaming back at us from the arenas and letting us know that you're having a great time. The tour itself is called the Turbo Fuel for Life tour. It obviously works in with the Turbo theme, and Fuel for Life is essentially how we view music, and what this tour is about. It is fuel for life when you look at it. It's got all of the properties that fuel does for people, It's got all of the energy and the power and the dynamics, and it keeps you going, and it's a great drug. It's one of the few harmless drugs around these days. The visual aspects of pre-shows are tremendously important. We've always gone out onto that stage with the complete attitude of wanting to give the biggest and the best metal show in the world today. And all of the visual content, the stage itself and the lighting and all of the props, the costumes and everything else, the whole drama and dynamics of metal music really comes together within Judas Priest at that given moment that we walk out on stage. The visuals are tremendously important to us. That's why we just pull out all of the stops. America really sees Priest to its metal maximum.
Well, America, what can we say? That's it for now from the Priest. On behalf of everyone in the band, KK, Glenn, Ian, Dave and myself, keep the faith.